We are now joined by Coach Marcus Freeman and quarterback Riley Leonard and safety Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. As a reminder, the team locker room is also open at this time. Coach Freeman will make an opening statement, and then we'll open up the floor for questions. Coach Freeman?
I think I said this after the game, but I'm so proud of this program, the team, for the work they put into obtaining the result that we got tonight. I remind them the last 10 days as we prepared, this will be a 60-plus minute fight. Georgia's been down in 9 games this year, and they find a way to come back and win. And so they had that mentality. Our coaches called the game aggressive. Our players executed, put everything on the line for this university and this football team, and I'm really proud of them. Proud of the way they handled, the events of the last 24 hours. And I want to make sure again, send our condolences on behalf of our university and our football program to everyone that was affected by the tragedy. And, they had to be able to still get ready for this game with the natural emotions that come into each individual that happened after the tragedy. And so I'm proud of the way they prepared. They stayed steady, and they went out and they did a great job. And so with that, we'll open up for questions.
Thanks. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start in the front row on the right side.
Yeah, Marcus, you just alluded to the last 24 hours. I'm just curious, in your experience, how extraordinary was the experience and the swing of emotions from maybe the mood of your team yesterday, how you'll address that to getting ready to play this big game today?
Yeah. Yesterday morning we woke up and we had heard there was some type of incident. I don't think we all knew the details, but we were getting ready to play a game. And by the time we had a break and we had lunch, we found out that the game was postponed. And then we found out more details. And I think once you found out more details about the tragedy, the emotions took over each individual differently. But they handled it spectacularly, and they prepared. We spent some time together, and I think that's what you do in tough moments. You want to spend time with family, and that's what we are. But they found a way to get prepared for this opportunity and refocus. And again, it's unprecedented. Life, I told him this morning, there's things in life that are unpredictable, and the ability to handle those unpredictable things determine the success. And they handled this incident, this change, but they handle everything that's thrown at them in an unbelievable way.
We'll ask you please identify yourself. Stand in the front row.
Rod Walker from the Times-Picayune here in New Orleans. Marcus, can you and James Franklin are kind of making history here. Can you kind of just put in perspective what it means to you to be, one of 2 black coaches in this playoffs?
Yeah, it's again, you're very grateful. It's a reminder that you are a representation for many others, and many of our players that look the same way I do. That your color shouldn't matter, right? And that the evidence of your work should. But it takes everybody, and that's what I continue to remind myself. When people will try to point the finger at you, it's a great reminder of you're not in this position without everybody, without all these guys. And that's why I told them in the locker room I couldn't get off that stage fast enough, because everybody couldn't be up there. It's about the team. It's about everybody that puts everything they have into making sure that we can achieve that success. And so it's a great honor. It's a privilege. But again, as the head coach of this place, I understand we're not in this position unless everybody in this program gets their job done.
We'll go to the left side in the very back.
Coach Andrew Greenstein at Louisiana Radio Network. All 4 teams that played in the first round ended up advancing to the semifinals. I know you can only speak for yourself, but do you believe that having played on December 20th gave you a competitive advantage over a team that had not played since December 7th?
No, I don't. I think whatever circumstances you're given, you make the most of them. And if we would have had a first round bye, I would have been the first one to say, hey, this is great for us. We didn't. It's great for us. We are always a glass half full group, and whatever circumstance are thrown at us, we're going to take advantage of it and prepare and maximize the opportunity ahead of us. And so that's what they did. The first game had nothing to do with this game. It was the preparation that they put into this week in this game and the performance that they put on. But I don't believe in my heart the first game had anything to do with this one. It was about the preparation they did after the first game.
We'll go to the right side.
Matt Baker with The Athletic. For either of the players, Coach Freeman talked about how hard it was for you guys to be able to refocus after yesterday. So as players, how were you able to refocus?
Obviously the events that occurred were very challenging, and I just want everybody to know that the Notre Dame family, every single person in our locker room is praying for those families that are out there. I also want to thank the New Orleans Police Department for responding the way they did and creating a safe environment for us to play today so quickly after the events. But as a player and as a Notre Dame player, you recruit the right people for a reason. And I think adding another day is just helping our superpower out. We say our superpowers all the time. Our preparation and the character in our locker room, those are two intangible things that we have that we utilize. So to have an extra day, after we got done praying for all the families, I hit up my quarterback coach and said, all right, can we watch some film tonight? Like I watched a whole, I got 4 or 5 more hours of film study. We had another day of walkthrough. That's our superpowers, our preparation, and I think it definitely paid off today.
I'll go to the left side.
Coach Freeman, Jack Sobel with Blue and Gold Illustrated. You mentioned the coaches calling the game aggressively, like the 4th down call towards the end, deep in your own territory. Can you kind of explain the logic behind that one? And then with the aggressiveness as a whole, like how did that help you win tonight? And how did that kind of help you get here to this point?
Yeah, Jack, it's a mentality. That situation that happened in the 4th quarter was something we practiced, and I think the performance is a reflection of that. We had a lot of confidence in the ability to be able to do that, and we had a plan, and that's the aggressiveness in terms of our preparation that I want our program to have, and again, out there when it matters the most. And so that's got to be one of our edges, right, is that we are going to be an aggressive group and not fear making mistakes, not fear, hey, it didn't go your way. We went for it on 4th and 1. We didn't execute. Okay, here we go, defense, and they got to stop. And so that's how I want this group to attack our preparation and attack performance when we have the opportunity.
Real quick, he's being humble. That was completely his play, and we were going to do it a different way like 2 days ago. And then he flipped it, and we executed it that way, and it worked.
It's our
so
play.
He's being humble
Our play.
all throughout the year. All right, yeah, you know this guy, but I'll say it for him. Great call, great execution.
All right. We'll go to the right side.
To ask you about the defense, particularly in the second half. Georgia was 0 for 5 on 3rd down, 0 for 3 on 4th down, and that's pretty dominant performance for one of the teams that has been one of the most physical in the country in the last few years. Why were you able to have such success in the defense, and what stood out to you?
Well, we had 3 keys to victory on defense, and number 1 was to stop the run. And we didn't believe that we could lose this game by passing yards. But we could lose if we don't stop the run, and the defense did an amazing job at stopping the run, and that put them in some difficult 3rd down situations. And then another key to victory was takeaways, and the defense got 2 takeaways, a couple turnover on downs, which were huge. They were relentless. The one drive, I wasn't too concerned because a couple of their big plays were uncharacteristic defensive mistakes. We didn't get a call, this guy didn't get the check, and that doesn't happen to this group often. So I said, okay, we're good. Get it fixed. Go back out there. When they get the next opportunity, it'll be fine. And they responded in a great way.
We'll go to the left side, the front row.
It's for the guys. Vince D'Addario, Irish Breakdown. What does it say for you guys when you've got a coach that's willing to go for it on 4th down at your own 18-yard line? Like, what kind of confidence does that give you guys as players to know that he's got the confidence in you guys to do that?
Yeah, I mean, just having a coach and a coaching staff that, like you said, that aggressive mindset kind of just gives us the confidence that, all right, these guys are all in. We need to be all in on the play call too. So, when they go out there and like we need to go on 4th down and they want to be aggressive, you need to go all in, make sure you do your job and get it done. So, I mean, it's just so refreshing to have coaches like that.
Okay, we'll go to the right side.
Dylan Zinn from the Journal-Gazette in Fort Wayne. Riley, this one's for you. Mike Denbrock said this week there was going to be a physical price to pay to win this game, and you said something similar. Just how did you feel that your team paid that price, and especially that run where you kind of fell end over end at the end there?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody keeps telling me stop doing that, and then I did it, and it worked out today. So, and plus we're in the playoffs, so it's like, all right, put your body on the line. But pretty much, that's my mindset going into every game. Like, everybody else is going to put their body on the line. I'm going to do it right there with them. It was going to be a physical matchup. Our number one key to victory was to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and that's exactly what we did. We knew if we could, establish ourselves up front, we were going to have a chance at this thing. And, they're a very physical group. They brought a lot of pressure today, but I think we handled it pretty well. And, stay behind the chains early in the game, then kind of figured it out a little bit. I was struggling in the passing game, but shoot, that opens up the run game. And we were able to utilize our abilities and execute when it mattered.
Go to the right side, second row.
Coach Matt Miguez with ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Points were at a premium early on in the game, and then in 54 seconds, your team scored 20 points. Talked about that swing, and then your message at halftime to kind of keep your foot on the gas and keep finding the way to score those points.
Yeah, it was a heavyweight fight. The entire game was, but that first half, it was 3-3. First of all, Mitch Jeter did an amazing job today with field goals, his confidence. He had a great week of prep. And then it becomes 6-3 us. And the forced fumble right before half, and then our offense being aggressive and opportunistic and capitalizing off of that as we go into half was huge. And what we didn't want to do, I think it was a 10-point lead at half. I didn't want to survive. And I think that's the natural tendency in a big game. You're up 10 versus a really good team to say, let's survive. No, let's be aggressive. Now, I didn't know we were going to come out of the locker room and score a kickoff return touchdown, but that helped. And again, that middle eight is something we often talk about, and the ability to close the half in that way and to start the half. The second half with a kickoff return touchdown was huge for the outcome of the game.
We'll go to the left side, front row.
Yeah, Nick Douglas here. This is a question for Xavier and for Coach. In a game where, points came at a premium, what does it say to hold a top team, specifically an SEC team, to 10 points through your defensive and through your special teams efforts?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it speaks, to our defense as a whole. We go out there, we want to make sure we don't give up points, but some things happen. Like you said, we kind of break down the defense, giving up points. We don't want to let that happen. But like you said, just holding a team like that, they have some talented players. So holding a team like that to 10 points, low amount, is pretty good for our sakes. Obviously, you don't want to give up any, but just really proud of the performance we put up, and obviously complimentary football with special teams. J2 taking that kickoff out of halftime was really awesome. Just a good momentum swing, and it gives everybody juice. So.
Yeah, I love the way this group responds. There was a couple big plays that Georgia made. They're a really good team and a good offense. And this group just responds, and we always say reload. Like, this play is the only thing that matters. That's the only thing consistent in a game, is that this play is the only thing that matters. And what you see is, if somebody gives up the big play, they're able to reload and get their minds right for this play. And that was a reflection of the red zone defense, the big fourth down stops. It's a great group. They got great leadership, great players, and, they're doing a heck of a job.
We'll stay on the left side in the back.
Hey, Coach, back here, Jared Paul Joseph with the WGNO here in New Orleans. Considering everything that did happen in the last day or so, you have two players on your defense, Jaden Osbury and Jordan Clark, Louisiana guys, and one has a pass deflection, one has a fumble recovery. What do you think it says about them and their ability to be able to still come out and make plays considering something happening in their home state?
Yeah, they were extremely excited to come home and perform. And, there was a time yesterday evening that I wanted our players to spend some time with their families that were here. Being a parent myself, in times of tragedy, you want to be around your children. And, I gave the players from about 6 to 9 last night a chance to just go be with your family if they're in town. And I think that helped the parents as much as it helped the players to be around each other and to help them reset and get their mind into a place that it needed to be for today. But those two guys have been brilliant all year, and they did a good job in their hometown.
We go to the right side.
How you doing, Coach? I'm Chase Gisler with the Daily Star here in Hammond, Louisiana. I thought this was a true team win today, all 3 phases. Offense making plays when you needed them, defense came up big, and then special teams, 3 for 3 on field goals, then obviously the kickoff return. How satisfying is it for you as the coach when you see all 3 phases really just clicking on all cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it takes to win versus Georgia in the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs. Like, it's going to take that. It's not going to be 1 or 2 phases. If we expect to continue to move forward in the college football playoffs, it's going to take all 3 phases. And we feel strongly about all 3 phases. But that's what it's going to take, and it was a great performance today. And now we got to get some things cleaned up, find a way to get better in this week of practice. And then we got another opportunity to go out there and perform in all 3 phases here on January 9th, I think, here at the Orange Bowl.
Stay on the right side in the back.
WSBT. I know you're going to turn the page quickly on this, but there are a lot of Notre Dame fans that have been looking forward to a win of this magnitude for a very long time. I'm curious if you sense that when you talk to fans, just how big of a game this is for Notre Dame as a program, and then just personally, how much pride do you take in what you guys have been able to do thus far this year?
Pete, the passion that Notre Dame fans have for this place and this football program is tremendous, and that's why a lot of us are here. We want to be at a place that has high expectations, that their fans are passionate about it, the administration and everybody's aligned in terms of putting all their efforts into helping this place succeed. And so it's an honor, and we want it as bad as our fans want it. But what you want doesn't matter. It's what you're willing to do. And that's what we got to continue to focus on, the work that it takes to achieve that outcome that we all want so badly. And so, we're going to get back to work, me and Pete. We're going to get on this plane. Let's watch it and find ways to improve and look at the schedule. I might give them tomorrow off maybe, give them a chance to reset. But we got to start game planning for a tough opponent. I saw a little bit of the Penn State game, and listen, it's going to be a great challenge for us. But I'm excited for it.
Go on the left side in the back.
Hey, Marcus. John Sokoloff with WGNO here in New Orleans. What does it mean to you to be able to make history here in New Orleans by winning college football playoff quarterfinal game, being one of the first teams to ever do it in the sports history? What does it mean to you to be able to do that here in New Orleans?
It's an honor. This isn't about me, and I try to make sure that's clear. Like, I'm blessed to be in a position to be the leader of this program, but I am blessed to be around some of the greatest individuals that you could ask for. And these individuals all commit to this place no matter what their role is. And they give everything they can to seeing us have that success. And I'm a part of it. Yes, I'm the leader at times. Yes, I'm the leader. But I'm a part of a big group that we all have to put the work in. And so I hope every person in this program feels a part of that, the record of wins and whatever there is. But I just love being on the journey with these guys. I love motivating them. I love pushing them. I love challenging them in different ways because they just continue to respond in any way that you challenge them. But it's an honor and a privilege and a lot of fun to be on this journey together.
We have time for one final question. We'll go to the left side.
Marcus and Riley, since RJ's been your teammate for a long time, like after RJ might not have had the regular season that he wanted, like what does it mean to you guys, and what does it say about him to see him make a play of that magnitude that changes the game?
Yeah, to speak on RJ a little bit, a lot of people don't understand how good of a person he is and how smart he is and how much of a hard worker he is because he's a mellow guy. He's not going to say much. But if you're ever in the facility, like 5 hours post-practice, he's going to be somewhere doing something to get better. I mean, the consistency amongst this guy is insane, and I've been seeing it for 4 years now in my college career, and I'm grateful that he was able to, come with me to this place. But this is a very mature guy we're talking about, and somebody who's not going to say a word whether things are going good or bad. He's going to put his head down and work, and that's kind of the MO of our season. I heard a quote last week, Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't do something, you're right. And RJ believed in himself all season, and it's finally starting to come pay off for him.
Yeah, Riley said it perfectly. These guys don't always control the amount of plays they get, right? Those are determined by your coaching staff in terms of what they need out of your role for this game. And RJ's a guy that no matter what the role is that's determined for him, he puts everything into it. And, when you have that mindset and you have that work ethic, good things like what happened today happen to you, and if you're sitting here and complaining about why you're not playing more than the next guy, then you know what, you're not putting everything into making the most out of your opportunity. RJ Oben is a guy that makes the most out of every opportunity he gets.
And that concludes the Notre Dame press conference. Thanks, Coach.